Hello, guys. Welcome to the podcast, Two Latin Brothers, T.L.B.P. This time we have a guest. If you would like to introduce yourself.
Name's Jimbo. I'm the important one.
The important one?
Yeah.
That's what we're going with?
What? That's not my last name.
No, I mean the important one.
But
I
that
mean
is
the
my
important
title, officially.
one. Officially?
No, just Jimbo's good.
Jim. Okay. So Jimbo
Yes.
is a very good friend of mine. I asked him to be our first guest because I couldn't think of anybody else, really.
Always start with the strongest.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
It's only going to get worse from here.
Just downhill.
Yeah.
Unless I come back, I guess. There'd be like this rotating goodness. Like, oh man, I can't wait for that Jimbo guy.
Yeah.
We'll have him back again next January.
Good.
It'll be like a cameo.
Every year.
Just one podcast.
Yeah.
Just one. Or half.
Half.
Whatever, just leave.
He's just like,
No, my time's too important.
Yeah.
just taps out. He's like, you know what? It was a great podcast, guys, but I can't do this anymore.
Sorry, guys. You guys suck.
There's no flowing combo.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So how you been?
Oh, is that your first question?
No, this is just a random
This
question.
is out of the blue.
Oh,
I mean,
guess
'cause-
it's fine.
I mean,
Regular?
It's been, like, how long has? I think it's been like over a month now since I last saw
I
you.
think it's like been a few months.
A few months. Well, yeah, because it was
since man, I think November or
was it,
something.
yeah, November. Oh man, so we're
Uh,
pushing almost 2 months now.
Yeah.
Okay, well now we know.
Well, it's pretty normal when you become the adult
An adult?
archetype.
Okay, look, I'm not an adult yet. I can still play the child card.
You say that, and that's it.
Yeah.
There was no second.
Okay, well you got really quiet.
I did?
I don't even know if the mic picked you up.
Okay, whatever.
Anyway,
Yeah. Okay. So,
so I've asked my brother Victor to come up with some questions to ask my dear friend Jimbo, because this is actually the first time they're meeting.
Well,
So
I guess like kind of.
I mean, or they're gonna have an actual, because they've seen each other before. They just haven't had an actual conversation before.
it was more like a hi bye.
Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
hi bye.
I was a background character.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, so this time around, I guess you're gonna hear them talk more than me, and
Yeah, sure.
if I feel the need to jump in, I will. Or I'll
Well,
just.
let me know if you can't hear me.
Well,
Like I can't.
I mean, you sound fine.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's good.
So let's.
Begin with the questions.
I mean, yeah.
guess.
I mean, we're gonna do this like interview style kind of thing. I don't know. However you want to do it.
Start with the 3 degrees. Go for it.
Okay. Number one.
Okay.
It's how did you two meet actually? Like, what was your first official hi?
Oh, me and Speedy? Were you going by...
Well, that's what you.
What is the name you were going by?
At the time?
No, right now.
Oh, right now I'm using my actual name, Adrian.
Oh, okay.
Because for those of you who don't know, Speedy is my nickname that I had in high school, and somehow it just kept carrying over.
I don't know, pretty forced.
What do you mean?
You told me your name was Speedy.
Oh no, because like that was my Facebook name at the time,
Yeah.
and when I friended you on Facebook, you're like, why
Wait.
is you were like, why is it Speedy? And I'm like, oh, because that's what people used to call me in high school, and that's how people knew who it was.
Wait,
'Cause,
did
like,
I?
Because if I use my own name, people wouldn't friend me back on Facebook.
Oh, man, I feel like... Okay, that actually makes way more sense than you telling me to call you Speedy. That makes...
Because I've actually never told anyone to call me that. People just see my Facebook and then they're
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm gonna just start calling you that.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
If it was the other way around and you told me to call you Speedy,
Yeah.
that's such a loser thing to do. I'm sorry, bro. But a good thing you didn't do it.
Yeah.
That means you're not a loser.
I mean, I
See,
don't.
that's a good thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so going back, first time we met,
This was like 4 years ago.
man, it was first year of computer programming.
Yeah.
I want to say the second or third week.
Sure.
Yeah, well, I don't remember specifically.
I don't really
But I
remember.
know that the first time we met was in a lab for networking. But not networking as in getting to know people. I'm talking about
Internet.
the
networking.
internet stuff
Yeah.
and connecting to other computers wirelessly or wired.
Oh, was it because of that broken router?
I don't know.
Do you remember that?
But I know that I worked with some other guy that you knew.
Yeah.
And that's where we got to know each other. And I know that we took the same bus
Yeah.
on the same day.
Yeah. No, I remember. Yeah, because the person I was working with had a broken router. We had a broken router.
Okay.
Because we were trying to create like a network connection between, this is probably really boring, between two computers, and just the two computers to transfer a file over the IP address. And I remember that our router was broken, and you guys finished really quickly, and then we couldn't get it to work, and you're like, oh, here, let me look, and then you're like, guys, I think the router's just broken, so you went and grabbed your router and plugged it in, and it worked fine. You're like, yep, this thing's just broken.
I totally do not remember that at all. Actually, to be fair, I don't remember anything about my program. That's good thing my employers aren't listening. So
I'm gonna send a really strong worded email to listen to this podcast.
Like you know who to send it to. Shut up. Okay, but yeah, I really don't remember that. But good thing that past me was good me.
It was good you? No, I remember. And then we formed like a little group.
Yeah.
And then the group fell apart.
Well, that was after the year ended.
Yeah, well,
or the semester.
It was after the year because still we had like basically the same schedule.
Yeah.
We had database together, but I had a different lab.
Yeah, a few people dropped out.
Yeah.
Other people were just networking the whole time, so they just stopped talking to us.
Yeah. No, I remember.
Bunch of douches, but the networking guys, the guys who dropped out, would have been nice to got to know them better, but c'est la vie.
There was
I don't know what that means.
That is life.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Okay. C'est la vie.
No, there was I remember there was a moment where in the second semester where we had like there was like the 6 of us were still there in the program because we were like a group of 6 people, and one of us just could not for the life of him figure out this programming thing.
Oh my god, that was during I wasn't even supposed to be in that lab. Yeah. I was waiting for you guys.
Oh, that was so funny.
Oh my god.
He for the life of him could not figure that out.
In context, one of the guys we knew was trying to create a calculator program, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a calculator.
Okay, it was a calculator program, and he couldn't get it to work like whatsoever. And Adrian also was working on the same project, like literally right beside the guy that couldn't figure it out. And I was behind specifically Adrian, and I said, Adrian. And well, I didn't say Adrian. I said, "Oh my god, what are you doing?"
Yeah.
But apparently, the guy who was struggling thought I was talking to him. He took it the wrong way, and he got super pissed.
Yeah.
And then he just left.
Yeah. It was so funny.
It was not directed at... I even tried to tell him, but then he like left, and I was like, "Oh my god, are you kidding me?"
No, yeah. But it was really funny because he could like I had already figured it out, like the general basis of it. And like even now, I still remember some parts of that lab. But what was really funny is that he's like, "I'm done. I can't do this anymore." There was a few people like that. Like remember that guy? And we had a class called Achieving Success in a Changing Environment.
Yeah.
Remember that one guy who in the first class got up and our prof basically said that one day you'll hate your job, you'll get super depressed and quit and look for another career. Yeah. It was like the very first class. Some guys like so basically. Well, that's what she was intending to say, and the guy like basically said that to her, and she's like, "Yeah, basically." And he got up and left, and we never saw him again.
Oh, I don't remember that.
We were like joking about that one guy. Who's that one guy who left? But I remember that. I'll never forget that guy. Like, because he was like at the back of the class. We were like in the middle, and he like got up and he's like, I don't know. Like he's like, "Oh, okay," and he grabbed his stuff and just walked out. Never saw him again.
What a waste of a deposit on the class.
You can get a refund, just not for the deposit.
Well, you can get a refund for some courses if you drop them before the deadline.
Yeah, but since that was the first class, like we're talking about first week of school.
Yeah.
You have, I think, like a month or so.
You have like 3
drop
weeks.
It.
You have 3 weeks.
3 weeks?
Yeah.
Okay, I guess end of the month because you don't start at the beginning. Yeah. So it's good.
And depending on like sometimes like because funding messes up and OSAP likes to be slow.
Yeah.
And all that jazz. Like depending on like how you're funded or whatever, they change the date for some people. And for some
if they screw up, generally speaking, when they screw up, they also screw you up.
Yeah. Well, what is it? For me right now, my funding, they messed up, and I still owe the college 15 cents.
Okay.
But it's really funny because I've been talking to people. I'm like, because the problem is if I don't pay by February, now the policy is that you get locked out of everything. So you can't access anything. It happened to me like right before my semester was over last semester because basically the same issue happened. And then this semester I have 15 cents, so I have to pay 15 cents before the end of this month at some given point in time, which I think is really funny that I basically, like, if I don't pay it, then, like, there'll be a big show or 15 cents.
Wow. Okay. I guess that's the debt's life.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Would you like me to give you 15 cents right now?
Or on loan. Oh my god.
It's like with interest.
Oh my god. It's
I
gonna be
don't-
like 16 cents. Oh my god. This is only gonna get worse.
It could be better. I mean, maybe you can round it up to $1.
Okay. Let's see. Question number 2.
Yeah?
Moving on. What are your hobbies?
What are my hobbies?
He's like, do I have hobbies?
Okay. I program using C++. I also record video game gameplay, and that is it, I think. I also have a full-time job, but that's not a hobby. That's a lifestyle.
That's a lifestyle.
No, I think that's it. Okay. Unless some other thing comes up.
I mean,
I can't think of anything.
I mean, he's just very dedicated to his work.
Sure. Yeah.
Extremely dedicated. Christmas
I
came.
will take that.
Christmas came. He's like, I don't need vacation.
No.
Vacation's for the week.
Well, it's better to work on very popular vacation days because no one else is at work. You know what that means?
I don't have to work.
Exactly. And because my job involves a lot of interaction with other people, if it weren't for other people, I wouldn't have a job. That's kind of how it works. So with other people gone,
He's like,
okay, what am I going to do? I don't know.
He's like, I'm just here.
Yeah, I'm just here, so then I get to do my hobbies at work. Woo.
I mean, I feel like you have more hobby. I mean, like, you game a lot, too.
That's what I said.
Yeah, but you said recording, and you don't always record when you game.
Yeah. True, but I wouldn't consider that a hobby if I'm doing it on the bus.
Okay, yeah.
Because I don't use... I guess sometimes I play without recording, I guess, but not as much. If anything, most of my gaming time is spent either on the bus or recording. But recording is the majority. We're talking about at least almost an hour every day, every 2 days, around there.
Wait, so how much are you uploading a day? Do you upload every day?
Whenever a new salmon run comes out.
Wow, okay.
Which is, its frequency is every 2 days. Because how the game works, I'm talking about Splatoon 2.
Yeah, okay.
But how the game works is that there's this one mode called Salmon Run, okay?
Okay.
But Salmon Run is only available in specific time slots. So between 7 p.m. to like 7 a.m. the next day, you can play Salmon Run. All fun, all games. Once it's past, I think, did I say 7 a.m.?
Yeah.
Okay. Past 7 a.m., you can't play Salmon Run anymore. You gotta wait for the next time slots. It's annoying as balls.
Why am I...
It's to bring you back.
Yeah, it's to bring you back,
Wow.
if anything.
Yeah,
they could totally make it 24/7, but they don't.
Alright, so... Okay, so you're uploading... So you're basically uploading every 2 days.
Basically. There are some Salmon Runs that go back-to-back, as in, not literally back-to-back. There's still that time gap of a few hours. But what I mean time back-to-back, I mean like Monday and Tuesday Salmon Run.
Okay, so it's more like to give the player a break. That way, like, you know, because we have those, you know, addicted to the thing.
I guess kind of, but the main mode is Turf War, and that's 24/7.
Yeah.
So they literally have no good excuse to have those time slots, but they do it anyways.
Okay.
And I guess as part of the lore, it's feasible, but we're talking about a video game.
Yeah, it's like I don't. We had to put in more work. Just want to take a nap.
But I love it.
The game was successful.
Yeah, no, it was super successful.
Yeah. All right. Well.
Following question.
Right.
Actually, the following question involves video games.
Was that the third question, or is this like 2.5?
No, this is.
We'll call it 2.5. I have a question.
Oh, okay, cool.
Okay. What are your top 3 favorite games?
Oh my god.
Okay,
you mean like of all time, or we're talking about in genres?
You can say in
No,
genre.
let's just go with all time because we
Okay,
can't
in
go
all time?
We can't hit every genre right now.
A Dark Souls game. I think maybe because there's how many Dark Souls are there? There's Demon Souls. It's not technically Dark Souls, but shut up.
It's a spin-off.
Whoever plays Dark Souls knows that Demon Souls is basically Dark Souls.
But it's a spin-off.
No, it's not even a spin-off. It's a prequel. So it came out before Dark Souls.
Yes, I know, but now they call prequels like spin-offs because like whenever like there's a TV show and they make a prequel, it's a spin-off series.
No, but okay, wouldn't a spin-off come out after the original?
They still call it even on TV shows. They still
shut up. Okay, if someone calls it that, they're stupid. That's not how prequels work.
Watch this episode get super popular and our Twitter just blow like he's lying.
You're making this difficult. So you're telling me that shut up, okay? I don't know why you're laughing. This is very serious. Okay, I want to say something about Star Wars. Does that count?
Battlefront?
Oh wait, no. The sequel came out before the prequel. Oh man, there's no examples that I can give.
Okay.
Anyways,
maybe
so
Lord of the Rings.
The Hobbit. The Hobbit was a prequel, but see, The Hobbit came out after Lord of the Rings.
Exactly.
So if The Hobbit came out first, and then the Lord of the Rings came out, The Hobbit wouldn't be a prequel. It'd be the stepping stone. That's the first movie. Okay.
Yeah. But it's just in the timeline. It didn't. Well, like apparently the reason that happened was because. J.R.R. Tolkien, I believe is his name. The guy who wrote
Tolkien.
Yeah, I think that's his name. The writer of
so he wrote Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, no. So he created this amazing world, and he had like mapped it all out in his head, and he had this story about a ring, and he wrote it down, and it became the Lord of the Rings. But because the way he started the book with Bilbo having the ring, he went back to he's like, wait a minute, what if I write a story for Bilbo?
Okay, no, that makes sense, but I'm trying to get back to that whole prequel thing.
Yeah, it's
like I'm sure there's a really good example of how calling a prequel that came out before the main series came out is not a prequel. It's the first movie, but I can't think of any series that does that.
Well, okay,
but anyways, I guess top video games. First one would be a Souls game, a Dark Souls game. So there's Demon Souls, there's Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 3, and I guess kind of Bloodborne, kind of. It's considered a Souls game, but it doesn't have souls in it.
Okay.
So, one of those games. They're good. I'd probably say Bloodborne is the best. And then
Bloodborne's
second,
fun.
Bloodborne's fun.
Yeah.
It's really good. Fast-paced action. Yeah. Too bad the controls are real crap.
Yeah.
Because if you press a button, we're talking about waiting a literal second until you move.
There's lag.
Yeah, no, it's really bad.
Yeah.
Still good. I love that game. Second would be Demon Souls, and then some other Souls game, whatever.
So your top three are...
No, right now my top three is probably Bloodborne.
Okay.
Because I wouldn't say my top game is Bloodborne, then my second game is freaking Demon Souls. Like, come on.
Okay,
that's within the same, like...
Yeah, exactly. They're the same game.
So you're saying that your favorite top three games of all time are all...
the same
game.
I'm
saying that the first slot goes to a generic Souls game. Okay? So give me a Souls game. I will play it. I will love it. But I won't say it's like my top three or something. I'll just say top one. All of them.
Okay, so what's number two?
Number two would be Persona 5.
You're obsessed with that music.
Okay, shut up. You should play it. Okay, have any of you guys played a Persona game?
I haven't actually.
I haven't.
You guys are such losers. I don't understand. No. Okay, there's Persona 3.
Stop, look, I need you to understand one thing. We have lives. we believe in the outdoors.
Persona gives you that life. It nurtures you. It builds you as a person. See, that alone should make you play the game.
Okay, look, I'll look into it. Okay?
It gives you a life.
Exactly.
Okay, look, I'll look
someone else's, but a life in general.
Okay, look, I'll look into it. Maybe I'll get around to playing it this summer. We'll see. When I don't have to worry about school.
So we're talking about Persona 3, Persona 4, Persona 5.
What happened to 1 and 2?
1 and 2 are... I've never played them, and I'm afraid to play them. Because from what I understand, 3 is where it tips off. It becomes really good. But the other two, like, there's Nazis in there or something. There's Hitler in there, but not literally Hitler, I think. I think it just looks like him. Like, okay, that's already a turnoff.
Oh, okay.
At least story-wise.
Yeah.
Like, really? You had to put him in there? But anyways, it would be Persona 5 specifically.
Okay. Well, okay, so then what's number 3?
Oh, yeah, number 3. Final Fantasy Tactics. Not Advanced 2, if that's a thing. I feel like it's
okay.
But the one on PS1 and maybe the one on the PSP. Final Fantasy Tactics, I think it's like the Lion Wars or something. Man. And I don't think
this is a big throwback.
I don't think I played that though, the Lion Wars one, because I didn't even own it. We're talking about the very first Final Fantasy Tactics on PS1. That's the one I owned, and I loved it.
Wait, so you had a PS1?
I had a PS1. Like that was the very first console that I've ever owned.
Wow, that's that's like what, the 90s?
So I was born in the 90s, so yeah, okay, shut up. I think it was 2001 or something.
No, I think it was 98 or 99 that it came out.
Was it? Because we got the slim version.
Okay, so
the PS1 comes in like the fat guy, and then they had the slim model, and then the PS2 came out. I think they did the same gimmick.
Yeah, they must have done that. They did that like every time. It's like now they have the PS4 and then like PS4
Pro. Yeah.
They just turned slim into Pro.
Yeah,
because we all want that 4K.
I think the newest console that I've ever bought outside of my my Nintendo Switch, which I love, is a PS2.
Really?
That's where I played Persona 4, and that's where I got into Persona. See how that loops back? Like, whoa, man!
This endless vicious cycle.
Where is this going?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I mean,
so a Souls game. I don't know which one. Just pick one, and it's my top game. Whatever.
It's like
Persona 5, specifically 5. 4 and 3 are super solid, but Persona 5 specifically because it took me 5 days to beat. And when I mean 5 days, I mean 5 days straight.
Like you didn't stop?
If I didn't stop, it'd be 5 days straight. Obviously, I stopped. It took me like a really long time to beat it.
Dang.
But I'm saying 125 hours?
125 hours.
Yeah. To be fair,
did your PS2 almost die afterwards?
I played it on my computer.
Unbelievable.
See, the twist here is you can't play it on your computer. I used the thing called an emulator. See how I didn't pronounce it properly?
Yeah.
But to be fair to me specifically, I actually owned the game for PS4 while playing it, but I was just too lazy to pull out my PS4. I was just, oh my god, are you kidding me? I had to take it out of a box.
Oh gosh.
So I just, you know what? I have this beast of a computer. 1080 graphics card, i7, 16 gigs of RAM.
So
I think.
all the bells and
whistles, just to play a PS3 game. Not even the PS4 version. There's no emulator for that.
I can't believe you did.
I know, and it was so much trouble just to set up the controller. But I still did it, and it worked.
He was like,
oh my god! Now I'm looking back at it. Wow, what an idiot.
That's how your Persona experience.
That was my Persona 5 experience. I didn't even play it properly.
Unbelievable.
Oh my god.
Right. Well,
what a rebel.
And
then there's Final Fantasy Tactics PS1, which I did play on a PS1.
Alright, so...
And an emulator, probably, in my lifetime.
Okay, so from all the Switch games you've played, which one would you say would be your favorite?
Oh, Splatoon 2.
Really?
Yes.
Alright.
If there was no online, Splatoon 2 is crap. Most of the games online.
You know, like I find that like a lot of games now, everything's online.
Yeah,
everything's online. Remember?
Well, I guess. Okay, give me an example.
Well, all games are moving in that direction now. You get what I'm
I guess
saying?
that's fair.
Like,
well, yeah.
No one wants to sit alone around and play, right?
Online multiplayer is a very big gimmick.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's changed a lot of things.
Yeah.
Like, actually, there's a guy that works with my dad who he was telling us that he's made friends online through online gaming, and he has friends who live in LA. And the problem is the time zone. Because, like, when they want to play, like, say, like, 6 in the afternoon, it's, like, 12 in the the here.
Yeah.
Because they're, like, on the other side of the world.
He's got work the next day.
He's got work the next day. So my dad's like, he'll come into work, and he looks like a zombie, like, just, like, dragging. He's like, yeah, I got
playing with my friends, guys.
Just playing with
Jeez.
Yeah, no, it's really interesting.
But... Okay, offline though, going back to the Switch, getting off topic, you bums.
Sorry.
But, okay, Splatoon 2, if you have an online subscription, it is probably one of the best games you can get on the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
Second best, offline specifically. Man, I can't even think of one. I'd have to check my Switch for all the games that I have. I want to say Valkyrie Chronicles 4, which is what I've been playing. That's it. That's it. Like, I can't think of a really good offline game for the Switch. Like, they're all really good. Well, like, when I think of like one specific one, like, oh my god, why can't I think of the library? It cost me like $1,000 for my library, and I can't think of them. How I hate myself.
All right. Anyway, over here, library apart.
Yeah, no, games are expensive.
Well, it's all PlayStation's fault. They're the ones who started marketing games like super expensive.
Oh, for the $80/$60 price tag.
Yeah. And then Xbox was like, oh, people will still buy games at that price.
Yeah.
They're like, alright, let's do that. And then they started doing that too. And then Nintendo was like, well, if this is the market now, might as well stick to the market.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, back in like the 90s, they sold Nintendo 64 games for $60.
Yeah.
And we're talking about the 90s, where $60 is not worth $60 now.
Well, yeah.
We're talking about more than $60.
Yeah. Well,
at least 61.
Well, also back then, like it was like at the peak of like technology.
The N64 was the
no. For that time period, it was like like there was nothing like that.
Yeah. Well,
I wonder when they started. Nothing close to that. You know what I mean? Like when that happened, it was
GameCubes.
No, when that happened, it was revolutionary.
I guess for the N64, but one of Nintendo's philosophies is to use outdated hardware and innovate on it. For example, the Nintendo DS, when it came out, it had pretty crappy hardware. We're talking about early 2000 touchscreens where you need a stylus. Those touchscreens are complete crap.
Yeah.
We had cell phone version touchscreens at least roughly at that time.
The first iPhone came out.
No, I'm talking about the touchscreen.
No, yeah, okay, the touchscreen didn't become popular till like 2008, 9.
But
7?
the technology was there.
Yeah, it's just no one was using it.
DS didn't use it. Instead, they used the outdated LED stuff. Still worked. Look at the Game Boy.
Okay, look, the Game Boy was just.
Yeah, Game Boy was amazing.
The Game Boy changed.
It was
everything.
They focused gameplay instead of hardware.
Yeah.
And just like think of the Switch now.
Yeah.
Okay, the Switch is the most updated console that Nintendo has made. Compare that hardware to the PS4 that came out well before the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
Look at the hardware differences. The Switch is very crappy compared to the PS4.
Yeah.
They still follow that philosophy, using the older hardware.
But it's interesting. Yeah, but I mean, like they still game the same.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I mean, if anything, it's a really good thing because that hardware went through all of the tests. Went through not literally tests, more like informal tests. People played with them. People experimented on them. People found its limits, and Nintendo used that data and stuff and made it. They had that extra background information.
Well, yeah, like that's the thing. Well, like nowadays, everything it's because now, especially when it comes to like processing power, every 6 months a new chip comes out.
Yeah,
something like that. I'm like, what's like you get the latest one, and like in 6 months you're already out of date.
Yeah,
like that's how crazy it's gotten, and it's super interesting because the funny thing is like before it was like I remember the jump was I think it was like in 2012. When we went from seconds in speed to milliseconds, now we're like in the 100th of a second or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's been 6-7 years since 2012.
It's been 7 years.
7 years
2012. That's how math works.
I'm still stuck in 2018. Anyway, but like that's like everyone's like we've now hit like that plateau where like speed's just like almost insignificant at this point.
But all the new hardware that comes out, it's experimental.
Yeah.
It hasn't been through all the dents, so to speak, as older hardware, such as, LCD screens, the crap hardware. So Nintendo doesn't have to experiment because people already did it for them.
Yeah.
It's a really good philosophy.
I mean, yeah, for sure. You got any input here?
I gave my questions.
He's like, I'm gonna be silent for the rest of this episode.
I don't know. It's your podcast.
Yes, it is. Well, I mean,
what's your favorite color?
Blue.
Blue.
Isn't it yellow?
Wow, racist.
No, it's orange.
I said my answer was blue. I'm not gonna change it to orange just because you said it's orange.
No,
it's blue.
I remember this one time you told me it was orange.
When?
Probably like 4 years ago.
I might have said like, "Oh, I hate the color orange,"
or
I
probably
hate
said it sarcastically,
or like I hate the taste of orange, and then I don't know how that stuck to my favorite color. It's not orange. It's blue.
I can't remember how we were talking about it. We've had so many conversations where it's just like
it's like every month it changes.
What's your favorite color? What's your favorite piece of clothing?
What's your favorite shirt?
I don't have one. Just whatever's on the floor, I guess.
I don't need to know that. That's too much information.
It's on the floor?
I mean,
yeah, whatever.
If it's on the floor, that means it's not a clean shirt.
Take it with context. There is none.
Oh, dear God. No, but all that aside, I think it's what you were saying about Nintendo.
Yeah,
it's totally true. And a lot of companies, they throw out like, what is it like? They throw out their like the best, the latest. And then there's so many bugs, like just an insane amount of bugs. Like there's
especially with the hardware itself.
Yeah. Like what is it when like the first iPhone came out, they were having screen problems. The face scanner wasn't working. Like
we're talking about the very first iPhone.
No, I mean the first iPhone 10.
Oh,
the first when they switched to like full on face recognition. Sorry, my brain just it's Friday. It's late. My brain's tapping out already. It's been a long day. Anyway, but like. When they did that, the first batch or so was like apparently a lot of people like took them back because they had a lot of issues with them.
Because I know with the very first iPhone, they had to have a little cell phone tower.
Oh yeah,
at the seminar, and I think they probably had a bunch of other really weird things to make the iPhone look perfect. But I know that the cell phone tower was the main.
Yeah, well, like I can't imagine how. Like, well, but then again, it's iPhone, and now, like, iPhone's, like, super, like, so many people use iPhone, and it's just insane.
Yeah.
Like, and, like, especially, well, but now they're banned from, like, China or whatever.
iPhones are banned?
Yeah, because apparently they were violating some patent that, like, some company had in China, so they couldn't sell, and apparently they did some update that would fix it, and apparently it didn't work, and I think they're going to be banned, or they're not going to be allowed to continue selling in China.
Are you talking about how the face recognition doesn't work?
No, I'm talking about
their eyes are always closed.
No.
See how that sounds racist? But I'm allowed. I am part of that demographic.
Okay, well now everyone knows.
Well, whatever.
Anyway,
they'll learn.
They'll learn.
They'll learn.
They had this. This is like some chip patent that they were violating or something like that.
Okay.
Or some processor or something like that. Or I think it was like a modem or something. I can't remember. Inside the phone.
Were they banned, or did Apple just decide not to sell it because they had to pay out?
No, I think that's what happened. They just decided to stop selling in China. And I'm like, that's crazy.
That's a really big demographic.
Exactly.
That they just didn't want to. Okay, unless they were banned, but
yeah.
Okay, we're talking about all of China banning the iPhone. Yeah. That's a really big. Yeah. Okay.
You're like losing
that's
like
a big loss.
Like what?
That's more like okay. Yeah. No.
That's something like what? How big is that? That's like 1/7 of the Earth.
Probably like half of the Earth.
No, it's not half of the Earth. There's no way it's half.
One of us. One of us.
No, but meanwhile in North America, the Americans and some of the Canadians too, like they're banning some of the Chinese companies.
Okay.
Because they have affiliation with, they believe they have affiliation with the Chinese government and they're spying on us through our phones.
Well, yeah, probably.
I mean,
the potential is there.
Oh, for sure.
They banned Google from China. I wonder why.
Well, it's because Google is like you search literally anything, right?
Yeah.
And China likes to censorship everything. They don't have YouTube either.
It's not censoring. It's just cutting off communication like altogether.
Well, they have WeChat. You can get WeChat.
I can get WeChat.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
where is your point in all this?
I'm getting my point across. Is like the fact that they just don't want people to have access to a lot of information at any given point in time.
You mean like the YouTube as in the important place? So if I were to show someone a revolutionary video through WeChat and it was a YouTube video, they wouldn't be able to see it. And I'm supposed to believe, China got me again.
Well, I mean,
they got my best interests at heart.
Oh, I mean, I don't know. Like, it's just one of those like weird things. Like I've actually met a few students who like are international students from China at the college actually, and they're like, "Yo, man, this YouTube thing, like to them, it's like it's so cool because they've never had it before, and now they do." And I'm like, that must be so bizarre. It's like when you meet someone and they tell you they don't have a Facebook account.
Okay, that's like slowly phasing out.
I know, but
yeah.
So remember, like 4 years ago when someone told you they didn't have Facebook?
Like, no way, you don't.
I don't. Like, what are you, 12?
I don't know. Even 12-year-olds have Actually, even like babies have Facebook accounts nowadays.
Well, babies have Instagram. Actually, that's their parents make it for them.
You can follow the baby grow up.
Yeah, no. Oh, poor baby.
Yeah. Well, what is it? Apparently, in France, like 2 or 3 years ago, they made a law where if you're a child and you were born like around the millennial era, and your parents are posting the pictures, your baby pictures on Facebook, you have all the right to sue your parents because you never gave consent for those pictures to be uploaded because you weren't old enough to give consent.
Yeah, I feel like that's fair.
Yeah. So like I'm like, I can't imagine how many kids who like out of spite to their parents are like, I'm suing you.
Well, yeah. At this point, when you're showing off like we're talking about hundreds of pictures of your child, you're clearly putting them up on a pedestal. Yeah. Just for other people to say, "Hey, I made this."
Well, like it's one of those things where like people like, I mean, as a parent, they're like it's like an accomplishment to them. It's like a new level unlocked. I made a being.
So you gotta show them off in public.
It's like I made that.
Because I know not in a restaurant, you wouldn't go in the middle of the restaurant, hold your baby like Lion King style and go, "I made this. Look at this baby. I made this."
It's like, but I think it's like a parental thing. It's more like, it's just like an instinct to like show off your kid. Like I remember when I was younger, and when I was like a while ago now, I used to play a saxophone. And whenever people would ask my father about me and how I was doing, "Oh, did you always play the saxophone?" And they're like, "No, I didn't." And he'd just start bragging basically about me the entire time, about how I could play a saxophone. And I'm like, and this one time I saw him do it. I'm like, is this what you, like in my head, I was like, is this what he tells people? Like all the, like what is going on? Yeah. But then like you see other parents and like their parents, like my son, he's becoming a lawyer. Or like,
or something like that. Yeah.
It's like, basically the same thing.
My kids are the angels and stuff.
Right. Yeah.
I'm like, I did not ask about your kids. I just want the paperwork, okay? Like, I just want my food.
Have you, what is it? Like, there have been a few times where, like, I remember this one time, actually, I went to this grocery store, and I ran into someone's mom who I went to school with. She works there, or she used to work there, as far as I remember. And she started talking to me and asking me, like, questions about how her daughter was in school. And I'm like, honestly, like, I don't really talk to her. I don't even think we have any classes together. Like, I know who she is, and I know you're her mom, but I don't. That's the extent of my knowledge. Like, I don't even know what her favorite color is. Like, that's like the extent. And then she's like, really? And then I'm like, yeah. She's like, my daughter tells me she's super popular in school. And I'm like, oh well, then that just got really awkward because I have no idea who she is. Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know. It's one of those like things where like it's a self-esteem thing also because you're in high school.
About being Okay, now we're talking about popularity in high school.
Yeah. Well, you were talking about how like people tell you about your kids, and that just reminded me of this moment in time.
Oh, I was just more like the wrong intentions of having a kid to just show off to other people. That's what I was trying to get at. But moving back to high school, stop interrupting me. I'm still playing. I'm being facetious. That is what the word means.
Man, I ain't gonna stop you from being facetious.
Or it's facetious.
Okay, I can't speak right now.
Facetious. It is a form of sarcasm.
Yes, I know.
So if I called you stupid and I said I was being facetious, that means I wasn't calling you stupid.
Okay,
fair enough. I was being playful.
Okay.
But I guess moving back to high school, I guess popularity.
Yeah.
To any high schoolers listening, or any people eventually going to high school,
including me.
Well, you are not part of this conversation. Keep your voice now. I'm being facetious, but I wouldn't care at all when it comes to popularity. As a guy that has a full-time job, nobody cares. At all.
You know what's funny? He's kind of popular.
Okay, I guess that's good. But I wouldn't focus on it. Don't let it consume you Don't let it change who you are. Because I know that when it comes to at least popular people, and if they get everything they want, guess what? You won't. Once you move out and you become, that guy that nobody cares about because now you have a full-time job. And everyone in that job does not care. If you're popular in high school doesn't mean you're popular at work.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, it's more like most people, like some people who become popular, it's because they're super likable. Yeah. Like they just, like you just like them.
But that is part of their personality.
Yes.
But to people that are faking it, it's going to be hard to do that once you're out of it.
Well, like
because you're still that random guy that nobody cares about.
Also, like, what is it? Like, a lot of people, they never develop properly because of that. Like, they never learn what it's like to lose a friend. Because, like, I mean, like, a really close friend. Because if they lost a friend, they chose not to be that person. Because they were popular, no one would subject them to being like, why aren't you friends with that person anymore? They'd just be like, oh, okay, and follow the person along. Right? So, like, it's this really skewed thing. And when they lose, someone they thought was really close to them, or they get stabbed in the back, they don't know how to handle it.
I feel like that doesn't really relate properly to this, but I guess it's a point.
I mean, no, it's just a point. But I was getting
I think more like the idea is if you're popular and you make friends without really trying in high school, in the real world outside of high school, it's actually really hard to make friends. Because now you have to do it. You have to put in the effort to make these friends.
Okay, well, so you're saying...
I thought you guys would add to it or something like, no, I disagree. You stupid. No, I guess I'm right.
No, it was more like, I was just like realizing what my life is right now. I'm like, oh my gosh, he's right. I have to go put in effort now.
Well, I've made friends out of school, but that's because of soccer.
But, okay, now that we're talking about friends, you have to try and keep them.
But, I mean,
for example, me and Speedy... Adrian, we have known each other since 3. Okay, was it actually 4 years ago?
Yeah, it was 4 years ago.
Because I'm thinking of my program was 2 years, but an extra one was for co-op. Okay, so that's 3 years, and I've been working for a year.
So it's 4
So
years.
it's been 4 years. Yeah, there we go. Math works. So it's been 4 years that I've known Speedy, and I know that we haven't really spoken much to each other in 2 months.
Well, it's because
sometimes, interrupting me,
I'm sorry.
Sometimes for some friends, that 2-month gap will be the breaking point of a friendship. They will never speak to each other ever again because they don't have to.
Well,
and the problem about a relationship, friendship and romantic, whatever, is that it cannot be one-sided. Okay, I can't keep on going, okay, we should hang out, we should blah, 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 we should have fun.
Yeah.
But if the other guy's not having fun, that's not a friendship. That's more like me dragging you somewhere.
Yeah, well, I mean, it has to be like something that two people are both willing to, both parties have to put in the effort, essentially. Yeah. If both parties don't put in the effort, I mean, there's no point. Actually, Victor has a very good example of this. One of his closest friends, they've been friends for so long that they're like on like, they like treat each other like brothers. And it's you can jump in.
We basically treat each other as like brothers. Like we've known each other basically before kindergarten because our parents were friends.
Okay.
So we've basically been friends for eternity. Let's see. Well, where was I going with this?
No, I was just, I feel you. I feel you.
Yeah, and
I have friends back at. We're talking about elementary school. I've known these guys since grade 5, grade 6, and nowadays, oh man, that's like 10 years. But there is one friend that I haven't spoken to I know that gap-wise, the longest time we haven't spoken to each other was 3 years.
Wow.
But we're still friends.
See,
why? Because we hang out sometimes. But there still was that 3-year gap. But see, the thing is, sometimes that 3-year gap will be the breaking point.
Yeah, like I don't have a single friend that I can say I have I mean, if I run into them, we'll still talk and we'll still say hi. But I never will not be like, hey, let's go eat food sometime,
The example is to see if a friend is really close is would you invite them to move your couch? It's from The Amazing World of Gumball. But the idea is still there.
Okay, yeah.
So the example is to high schooler people that you know. Would you honestly ask them to move?
I don't
to
know.
move a couch for you.
I don't know anyone who went to high school with me who'd help me move my couch.
No, not if they would help. Well, I guess that's the second part of it. But the first part would you even ask them?
No, I wouldn't.
Exactly.
I have like two people out.
I mean, like maybe if like I ran into someone and like we hit it off really well, and like for whatever reason, like give me your number or whatever, well, we should meet up sometime.
Yeah.
And then we actually do meet up afterwards. Then like after like I don't know, maybe like the fourth meetup or whatever, I'd be like, hey, you want to move my couch? I mean,
see, it's such a minor thing if you really think about it, but. Yeah. In retrospect, well, not even retrospect, but in the grand scheme of things, this is pretty personal. We're talking about some guy going to your house and moving a piece of furniture for you inside your house where you have all your decorations, all your weird stuff. But, man.
All right, well, we're going to have to end it here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we're over.
We're over? Okay, you should have told me.
Yeah, well, I mean, I wanted you to finish your thoughts. So.
Okay, not finished, but I guess it's not now.
We'll give you part 2 in a year.
Yeah, part 2. We're talking about couch moving. It is not fun.
We gotta come back.
All right, so end it.
Well, this has been Two Latin Brothers, T.L.B.P.
featuring Jimbo.
Yeah. Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
I thought you were just gonna leave me out of it. Like I didn't even matter. I was the voice of this podcast. In fact, this is why people are listening.
Okay, look,
they'll come back. They'll come back next episode. Oh, okay.
We're like 10 minutes over now.
Okay,
like,
fine. Just end it.
Okay.
All right. Like, comment, give us
have
suggestions.
fun, guys.